I'm Andre Georgescu. I'd like to share with you my knowledge and understanding of Carcharodon carcharias, the great white shark, in the Gulf waters of South Australia.
Face to Face is critically acclaimed as the most educational, exciting, and controversial great white shark documentary ever produced. Face to Face with the Great White Shark, available now. Brim fishing in Australia. After 30 years of fishing for black brim, Andre gives away his secrets in the art of outwitting one of the most common but cunning species of fish in Australia. Available now. Hand to Hand is a gripping documentary full of previously unseen footage that shows the exciting but dangerous method Andre used in catching great white sharks.
Get that! Let go! Let go! Yes! Take this, Marty. Yeah, here we go.
Before the great white shark became a protected species in South Australia, Andre Georgescu was renowned for his knowledge and his expertise in rope handlining white sharks and removing problem sharks, often at the request of commercial fishermen and divers. Hand to Hand with the Great White Shark, available now.
It's been 7.5 years since the protection of the great white shark here in South Australia. In 1998, I produced a documentary called Face to Face with the Great White Shark. Here's a small snippet from that documentary, and you'll get an idea of what this one is about.
As you can imagine, hand lining with rope is an extremely dangerous practice. Andre must ensure that the writhing coils of rope do not loop around his gloved hands after the shark is hooked. One slip or lapse in concentration, and Andre could be pulled into the water to become the hunted himself. Long, strong, powerful bursts come without warning. It becomes a tug of war. Just a head shake from the shark pulls Andre to the back of the boat. Most white sharks hooked on game fishing tackle and long lines become tail-wrapped as they instinctively and frantically spin in an effort to break free. While this practice is now unacceptable, some whites will, in the process of asserting their natural predatory nature, continue to menace fishing grounds and disrupt commercial activities.
In 1987, there was a shark attack here in South Australia. The man that lost his life was Terry Gibson.
But no attack created more fear or hysteria than the disappearance of Terry Gibson, just half a mile out from the seaside suburb of Merino on Adelaide's doorstep. Gibson, an experienced diver, was collecting scallops when he was taken. Police divers recovered a severed hose and a tattered diving vest, among other items. Forensic tests confirmed great white teeth serration furrows in his recovered equipment.
Good evening. A 4-metre white-pointer shark has grabbed an Adelaide scuba diver in what police say was a particularly brutal and savage attack just off Merino. The dead man was 47-year-old Terry Gibson of Seaford.
Terry Gibson was one of South Australia's best-known and respected divers. He had made more than 10,000 dives, both as a professional and recreational scuba diver. He was last seen alive about 10:30 a.m. yesterday when he launched his boat at O'Sullivan Beach, south of Adelaide, and headed for his favourite spot for scallops, a kilometre off nearby Merino. The first hint something had gone terribly wrong was when nearby fishermen reported frenzied splashing in the water about 150 metres east of where Gibson had anchored his boat. A few hours later, their worst fears had been confirmed with the grim discovery of a number of items from Gibson's wetsuit. Police divers brought up a snorkel, a fin, a ripped bag of scallops, and a fastened weight belt with deep tooth marks embedded in the thick lead panels. A second dive later in the afternoon found Gibson's tattered red vest and air tank, the evidence of the attack clearly visible. The head of the underwater recovery squad, Sergeant Rob Jeffrey, said Gibson would have had no chance to escape and death would have been instantaneous.
The vest is ripped and shredded, and the marks on it are uniform to the tearing of teeth from a shark.
Have you any idea how the scuba diver would have been attacked?
No idea, but viciously and savagely, and possibly carrying him through the water some 150 metres.
Yeah, he's got it. Here we go. Like it now. Shaking. Look the way they... Oh. Nearly. Like that. like coming on Dodge tight. I'm trying to pull him against the current. Oh, he's off again. You've got some fight in him, this one. Current's really pulling hard. It's a 3-metre tide tonight. Stand back.
Seven National News with Steve Whittam, Penny Clark and Craig McGann.
Good evening. Scientists claim the fate of missing diver Terry Gibson is likely to remain a mystery forever. Fishermen yesterday caught a great white off Merino rocks, but a post-mortem today failed to find any trace of human remains.
The capture of the female 3.2-metre white pointer gave hope the riddle of the disappearance of Terry Gibson in September would finally be resolved. Fisherman Andre Georgescu, using tuna bait, hooked the shark in the exact spot Mr. Gibson was last seen diving for scallops. It took an hour to bring the white pointer alongside. The shark was towed back to O'Sullivan's Beach boat ramp. A crane had to be used to load it onto a trailer. The mouth showed signs of being hooked before. Mr. Georgescu believes it's the same one he nearly caught just days after the diver's disappearance.
Whaler sharks are found throughout the world's oceans. As you can see, this is a large school of whaler sharks feeding. On some occasions, they have been known to attack people. Now in South Australia, we have two species, the black whaler and the bronze whaler, known as the cocktail shark. There's a few here. We already got one, about 12 last night. This is the second one, just on daybreak. About a 7-footer, that one. This guy here is about 8 feet. This one. It's about an 8-footer. Now they frequent the South Australian coastline in the summer months. Nice fish, this one. Have a look at this guy. 8-footer. Nice and stocky. Like Mike Tyson. Have a look at him. This guy hasn't been eating too well. He's a bit skinny, I reckon.
A former hunter of great white pointers has joined the debate about what to do with killer sharks, and he strongly disagrees with the Fisheries Department. He says the shark which took scallop diver Paul Buckland should itself be killed.
Everybody calls them a rogue shark. It's not a rogue shark. It's a shark that has taken a human, and that's it. It should be removed.
Documentary maker and ex-shark hunter Andre Georgescu has spent most of his life learning about great whites. He's hand-fed the massive killing machines off the back of his boat in Spencer Gulf.
Now look at that. That's still frozen. The teeth are pretty sharp, aren't they?
Georgescu believes that once a shark's taken a human, it can easily kill again.
Some sharks that have already caused a horrific attack will go looking for another feed like that because it was an easy meal.
Reports from the West Coast suggest a white shark has been recently hunted down and killed, but there's no way of knowing whether it's the same shark which killed Paul Buckland.
That shark, 2, 3, 4 years later, could be swimming down our coastline here in South Australia and attack again. And everybody thinks it's just another shark attack, but it could be that same shark.
The West Coast Fishermen's Association wants Environment Minister John Hill to ban burleying from boats when cages are lowered into the water for shark tours. They believe the practice is making sharks more aggressive towards humans, and the former shark hunter agrees.
Later on, when that shark's swimming in our ocean, could see someone swimming or surfing or diving and take that individual.
Peter Caldicott, 7 News.
Right, he's got it. Just holding him in the current now. It's going bananas.
how many great white sharks are there in the waters off South Australia's coastline. The experts say their number is dwindling and they need to be protected. But local shark hunter Andre Georgescu says they're far from a dying breed, adding there are some popular Adelaide beach areas that are virtual magnets for the potential killers. And as Frank Pangallo reports, one grieving dad says if we don't get tougher with the great whites, there will definitely be more deaths.
Andre is one of South Australia's most experienced shark fishermen, and there isn't much he doesn't know about the sea's most feared predator or its habitat.
If the food source is here, they're there. It's that simple.
Yet it seems you can't get the experts to agree on just how many. The most recent scientific research puts the number of great whites in South Australian waters at around 200 and supposedly on the verge of extinction, something Andre hotly disputes.
There is more white sharks in our gulfs than people realise because of the food chain.
To prove the experts wrong, Andre set out on his own fact-finding shark expedition.
Now, can you imagine trying to swim away from that? Forget it. They bite you in half like that.
Andre filmed his adventure, resulting in an eye-opening documentary called Face to Face, in which he torpedoes the general view that these sharks are a dying breed.
I learned heaps and I was shocked myself, actually. So,
by what? By what were you shocked?
By the amount of sharks that were actually in our gulfs. And I just went, what's going on here? They've said they've tagged all the white sharks in South Australia that aggregate around the seal colonies, and every single white shark I've seen in the Gulf, not one of those sharks had a tag in. So what's going on?
Man, I'm afraid, just doesn't know, and it probably is one of the most hardest animals to track or to try to count. I mean, man just doesn't know.
Jeff Wright supports Andre's views. He's learned much about white pointers in the past few months after losing his teenage son Jevon in a shark attack near Port Lincoln last year.
The danger's still there for those surfers surfing there today. They don't know whether that same shark that took my son is going to come back again.
For years, Port Lincoln's been raking in big tourist dollars, trading on its proximity to the waters where huge great whites lurk. But Jeff says there are now so many so close to shore that it's frightening even the locals.
The Port Lincoln High School had to cancel their camp out at Fisheries Beach, which includes all the water activities, because of the danger of the sharks in that area. Police have driven along the foreshore and ordered people out of the water on the jetties on hot days. The yacht club has, on early in December, had to stop the kiddies going out sailing and the junior sailing boats because of sharks present in the bay.
Some of the places we're going to go to today, they're real sharky areas, they really are.
But it's not just the waters off Port Lincoln we should be worrying about. Andre says there are many white pointers dangerously close to Adelaide's popular beaches.
See, everybody seems to think, Frank, that the white shark, there it is with its dorsal fin out the water and its tail, there's a shark. It doesn't work that way. The white shark hugs the bottom because it looks above to hunt its prey. So there can be people swimming here and they won't even see a shark.
These dolphins aren't just playing. They're also feeding off schools of pilchards near Port Wollonga, making them an easy prey for the great white hunter.
Well, this is about as close as I'd get to the water around this area. I really would, because I class this really sharky, mate, because this is the area where Rodney Fox was attacked. And Jonathan Lee lost his life here. Snapper aggregate here quite regularly at the right time of year, of course, and this is a stomping ground for white sharks.
White pointers are protected, and while Andre agrees with their preservation, he says there are also rogues among them.
But there's a small handful out there that, once they get the taste, sadly, they'll carry on doing it. And I believe this shark, that I call a problem shark, should be removed from the water.
When a Rottweiler bites and maims a baby in a pram, that's put down, taken out of the equation. There's plenty of dogs around, they can be replaced. There's plenty of sharks around. One shark that might strike, as the experts would have us believe, only 1 or 2 shark fatalities a year. Well, I'm sure the ocean can do without that particular shark.
Andre insists he's not scaremongering. He thinks the public isn't being told the full story about shark populations.
There are good numbers of white sharks still left in our waters in the Gulfs of South Australia. Right, get off that, Mark. Right back.
Whoa! Here we go! Get out the road, Marty! Get out! Get back! Wait, it's fighting really good. Look at this right twist.
We've let the pig slip, haven't we?
Yeah. He's fucking caught the anchor rope.
Has he?
Yep. Start the boat up. Round you go. Keep going. More. Okay, right out this way. Towards.
Right down.
That's it. You still got the anchor rope? Yep. Is that enough? Keep going. Keep going. Right, now that'll do you. Switch her off.
It's pull around alright.
Right, let's see what happens. I hope it pulls off, but it should do.
And that'll float up. He's getting so tangled up, look at it all over it.
Get back.
There he goes.
Get that, let go, let go. This one's fighting really strange, never.
He's going to come in green. He's not going to burn himself out.
That's right. Right back to the Marty. in, Marty. Shit! Don't worry about that, Marty. Put it in reverse, quick. Go. Quick. Swing around. Then other way. Other way. Other way. Other way. Right, that'll do you. Yes. Right. Take this, Marty. Stick the gap up. Look out, here we go. Still. Wait a minute. Look at that head.
When a Rottweiler bites and maims a baby in a pram, that's put down, taken out of the equation. There's plenty of dogs around, they can be replaced. There's plenty of sharks around. One shark that might strike, as the experts would have us believe, only 1 or 2 shark fatalities a year. Well, I'm sure the ocean can do without that particular shark.
You know, folks, people have said to me, why should you remove a shark when it's attacked somebody? There's a big difference sometimes. White sharks haven't got hands like we can feel things. They have to feel with their mouth. And on some occasions, a white shark will come up, grab somebody and spit them out. Sadly, sometimes that person will die of blood loss or shock. But if a white shark attacks somebody, eats them, it should be removed from the water. And the reason why is because they will do it again, because they do learn. This next documentary is about a really big shark, folks. She's actually a monster, a 20-footer. So, till the next time, safe water sports and good health.
The final encounter. In this spine-chilling film, Andre is asked to remove a monstrous white shark from a commercial fishing ground. See Andre come face to face with the largest and most cunning adversary he has ever encountered.
Got it, get away from the road. Here she goes. She's got a lot of power. She's pulling the boat backwards. So much power. Right, start her up. Quick. Start her, go. Go, go, go. Go! 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 Right, slow down, slow down. He's dropped the fuck! Going for the boy again, he's got the rope. He's gonna bite us off. Oh, we've got to hurry up and do this. All right. He's done it. Has he? Yep.
Yep.
You sure? Yep.
Yep.
Stand back. Stand back. Over more. More over. Left. Hard left. Hard left. Hard left. It's coming. It's coming. Go. Enough. Keep going. More left. It's all right. Right, a little bit. Taking rope now? He's going now.
Whistling with Foxes is a hunting documentary on the red fox. Since the introduction of the red fox and the feral cat, Australia has lost over 20 species of small native marsupials. Andrei Georgescu shows you his skilled hunting techniques in culling this serious pest. Whistling with Foxes, available now. Available now.
Right, this is the fly that comes with the predator call. Now if you look inside, You'll see this diagram here shows that you have to more or less exhale from your throat, and your tongue sits just next to the hole on the whistle, and that's all it is. Don't try blow through this whistle, you have to actually through your throat. So you it's all from the throat, that's all it is. So I want you all to keep practicing, and good hunting with the original fox whistle.
Available now.
Size of this cat. There's 53 foxes right around this vehicle.
Available now. Available now.